Hey lover, we've been through thick and thin. Our love is stronger now from what it's been. Whether we cry or laugh, even when we arguing, it won't change the fact that I love you over again. The power of transformation is in our love. We've got each other, and God's got us. Power of transformation is in our love. We've got each other, and God's got us.
What's going on? What's going on, man? This is truly most definitely the day that the Lord has made. And so we might as well rejoice and be glad in it. To tell you the truth, it does not make any sense to murmur, complain, or have a pity party. But the fact remains is that the good Lord up above, the Almighty Creator, the one who's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, allow you and I to open up our eyes on this very morning. And that should be more than enough to give him glory, honor, and praise. And and I just want to drop something in your spirit on today. I was reading in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, uh, and it says, I well, beginning at verse 1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brother, that you present yourself a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, not only holy, but holy and acceptable, which is perfect will of God unto his reasonable service. And it says, to be ye not conformed to the things and the cares of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove, you know, look, I was about to say the whole thing again. Be ye not conformed to things and cares of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and the perfect will of God. Well, one thing that when I was reading that, and as many times as I read that particular scripture, what it says to me is, first of all, when you understand the exegetical principles of the hermeneutics about the particular text, the who, what, when, where, why, and how, he says, uh, "Be ye not conformed." That word "conformed" in the Greek text is "somorpho." Somorphos simply means similar. That's what it says. So it said, Apostle Paul talking to the Roman church, he said, man, look here, I see what you're doing, but I don't need you to be similar to what everybody else is doing. Then he goes on to say, uh, but be ye transformed. Metamorphosis is, that's where the English, the word metamorphosis come from. Uh, by transform, right? Metamorphosis, by the renewing of your mind. When it says transform, they don't mean going around in a circle. When you transform anything, you don't go back to the former. A butterfly is a transformation, it's not a better caterpillar. So when a butterfly transitions through its stages, it will never go back to what it once formerly was. There was a time in my life where I sold drugs. I was a whoremonger. I did, a lot of things. And I'm at the point right now because of during those stages in that period in my life, I was a boy. When I was a child, I thought as a child, understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away those childish things. And so I had to transform my way of thinking. And I thank God that I was allowed to get locked up. And I know people like, what? No, man, because if I would have stood in the street, I probably would have been dead right now. Or kill somebody and be in the prison for the rest of my life. But he said, man, look here, man, I don't need you to be similar with everybody else is doing, but I need for you to transform your way of thinking. And be transformed by what? What are you talking about, Paul? By the renewing. Now, I'm going to park the brakes right there. By the renewing of what? Renewing of what? The mind. He said, by the renewing, anachronosis. That's Greek translation for renewing. Renewing is a verb which shows action. I know we learned that when we was in elementary, right? Renewing shows action. It is a verb. And so therefore, when it said be ye transformed by the renewing, the anachronosis, another English translation for that word is renovation. Say, man, look here. I know what y'all doing out here, but you can't be doing what everybody else doing. I know it looked as though that Jim, James, Sally, and everybody else they getting, they getting blessed and everything. But you that don't mean you have to be similar and do what they're doing. But I need for you to be transformed by the renovation of your mind. Well, Ramon, what are you talking about? This renovation that needs to take place in my life. I needed a renovation in my life. So I couldn't do the things that I used to do. And so I had to transform the way I was thinking. I needed to renovate my mind. So what I did, I began to read. I began to study. I began to meditate. I went to institution of higher learning. I got, told me that I needed degrees. So I went and got all of them. All right. I went and got the bachelor's, psychology, criminal justice, the master's, criminal justice, Christian education, the doctoral, and doctorate of education. I went and got it all, but only to uh, still, because it says that your gift will make room for you. Yeah, Ramon, I know that you went through all of that, and that's all good. I wanted you to go through that because there's some things that you needed to learn along the way. You needed to go through psychology because you're going to deal with people. And you have to understand people in order to deal with people. There's different mindsets, there's different approaches to people. I needed for you to learn uh criminal justice where you I just threw that in there for you for you can learn what it is that you was doing. You need to know the law. But I allowed you to go to the institution of the seminary to learn more of me. Yeah, I know you can just pick up the book and read of me, but I needed for you to dig a little deeper. I need for you to know the history. I need for you, not saying that I couldn't learn those things outside of academia, but it shifted my mindset. Right, it was in the institution where I learned institution in the seminary where I've learned how to research. The institution made me into a researcher. What else it did? It made me out of an author because of all of those papers that I was writing. It allowed me to write my own books. I'm three books in right now, and will be releasing my fourth book. So all of that. If what if I never went through uh, the colleges, right? What if I never went through that? Who's to say that I would have ever wrote a book? I don't know. All I know is what I know right now. And so I did that. So the renovation, when you renovating a thing, what you're doing, when anything gets renovated, what happens at the renovation? The value increases. That's just say I buy a piece of blighted property. Uh, a piece of blighted property may have, it need a lot of fixing on it, but the foundation is still strong. And so, therefore, an investor would come along and he would invest some time and some money into that particular building, particular structure. Let's say that piece of blighted property may cause a house. Let's say it was a used to be a 3 or 4 bedroom house or a 3 4 bedroom double house. Just say that the house it was blighted. It needed renovated. So you get the house for a fraction of the price, probably about uh 5-10% of what the house was actually worth. Let's say you get the house for 25, 30. Let's say they sell this piece of blighted property for $50,000. Let's just say 50,000. Okay, but this house is gonna need a new roof. It's gonna need some boards replaced, flooring, uh, all fixtures, floor, everything in there, paint, uh, some electrical things, everything in the house. And so after you invest your time and money, let's say you put another 60 grand in a $50,000 piece of property that you bought, right? So now you have $110,000 into the property. But guess what? You paid 50, you invested 60, you got 110 in it because you paid 50 grand on a piece of blighted property. So that property was worth a whole lot more, right? So after it's fully renovated, guess how much you can sell that piece of property? And I'm guessing it's for 50,000. Let's say 260,000. You would put about 280 on there, put 310 on there, right? Somebody gonna come at you for about 250, right? So look at the profit. Here you done made another $130,000 profit off of a piece of blighted property, right? 130, $140,000 profit, because the person that comes along that want to buy the house, they have to go to the bank and get a loan, take a loan out. The bank is going to give you all of your money, so you're going to get your 110,000 plus your 140 back, right? So that's when Apostle Paul was talking about be not conformed to things have this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, and the perfect will of God. And thank you for watching. Your boy, I am out of here. Let's not forget to support Royal Culture. Shop royalculture.com, www.royalculture75.com. Get your Royal Culture bags today. We thank you. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed, super fantastic day.